What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I appreciate y'all coming. This video is not going to be an easy one for me. I can tell you that right now because, as we know, Memorial Day weekend. Now, for those of you that don't know, Memorial Day weekend is usually a kind of a hard weekend for a lot of veterans. There's a lot of people who usually walk up to me and they'll thank me for my service and wish me a happy Memorial Day weekend. But what a lot of people don't really know is there's really not a lot that's happy about Memorial Day weekend. And it's not their fault. And by all means, I really, really appreciate that they take the time to thank me for my service and everything. It's greatly appreciated, and I will never look down on them for that. However, this weekend is not for those of us who are still alive. Memorial Day weekend is for those of us who are no longer with us. Those who either didn't make it home, those that died from their injuries and stuff from their service, and those who have succumbed to their demons that they're dealing with from their service as well. And those of us that are still here are unfortunately also dealing with those losses as well. And which is part of what makes it hard, because those bonds and stuff that were created during our service, a lot of them are stronger than family. And it really makes it hard for this time of year. So if you've got a veteran in your life, go check on them. And if you're a veteran that you feel like you have nobody, you do. You can hit me up at my email. I'll talk to you. So I found a video. I happen to be clicking around on YouTube like everybody else does. And I come across a video I think it's a great reflection of what Memorial Day means to me. And we're going to do a breakdown on that video. So without wasting any more time, let's get in it.
In a country that most people would struggle to find on a map, in a compound that few possess the courage to enter, men from my previous life took the fight to our enemy.
He's not wrong. And what he's talking about for, like, and keep in mind, I'm breaking this down for those of you that are not veterans, that, to give y'all a little bit more insight. But those compounds, and it's like Afghanistan and Iraq and all of those other countries, if you look at it, it's like if you go to Google Maps, most of them are written in Arabic. And what is translated, there's not a lot of it that, it's not a lot of it I even understand. But most of these men and women, including myself, walk into these buildings and stuff knowing that there is a very high probability, geez, words are hard, that while you walk into that door, you may not walk back out of it. And those doors being like the doors to the shops, houses, or huts, or whatever you want to call them. It's what courage literally is defined as. Not doing something, courage, in my opinion, is doing something even though it still scares the shit out of you, but doing it anyway. So, yeah.
In that compound, they found men that pray 5 times a day for your destruction.
Okay, now I want to interject right there because, granted, this is specifically talking about This is specifically talking about like the Middle East. Now, something I want to point out: evil does not have a nationality. Period. Evil does not give a shit about nothing. But like I said, it does not have a nationality. It does not care where you're from. It doesn't have an origin at all. Period.
Those praying men don't know me. They don't know you, and they don't know America. They don't understand our compassion, our freedoms, and our tolerance. I know it may seem as if some of those things are currently missing, but they remain at our core and always will. Those men don't care about your religious beliefs. They don't care about your political opinions. They don't care if you sit on the left or the right, liberal or conservative, pacifist or warrior.
So, like I said, evil does not give a shit who you are at all. Period. Very, very indiscriminate fact of life. It does not discriminate between anything. Evil will hit you in the face so hard it won't care who you are, and it will knock you on your ass as long as you let it. It has been at the hands of those courageous men and women who have laid their lives on the line and wrote a check to include their lives to make sure that we still stand tall in the country that we are today.
They don't care how much you believe in diversity, equality, or freedom of speech. They don't care. I'm sorry you've never felt the alarm bells ringing in your body, the combination of fear and adrenaline as you move towards the fight instead of running from it. I'm sorry you've never heard someone cry out for help or cried out for help yourself, relying on the courage of others to bring you home.
If you've never heard somebody cry, you never see what real fear is until you see your buddy on the ground knowing he's going to die.
I'm sorry you've never tasted the salt from your own tears as you stand at flag-draped coffins burying men you were humbled to call your friends. I don't wish those experiences on you.
Nope.
But I do wish you had them.
You know, that's a really important thing. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody, I think everybody should serve at least like 2 years. That's just my opinion. I don't really care what anybody else has to say about it, because y'all should understand. Like, everybody needs to understand what it is to be selfless. I think that's something that's missing in our society today. I really do.
If you had them, it would change the way you act. It would change the way you value. It would change the way you appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
You would become quick to open your eyes and slow to open your mouth.
Ooh. 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 That's going to hurt a lot of people. But it's so true. Because damn if this society is not one that has become so quick to start with a sharp tongue about everything, rather than actually listen to the whole message. That's so true.
Most will never understand the sacrifice required to keep evil men like those from that distant compound away from our doorstep. But it would not hurt you to try and understand. It would not hurt you to take a moment to think of the relentless drain on family, friends, and loved ones that are left behind. Sometimes for weeks, sometimes for months, sometimes for years, sometimes forever. Ideas are not protected by words. Paper and ink may outline the foundation and principles of this nation, but it is blood, only blood, that protects it. In that dusty compound, a man you have never met gave everything he had so that you have the freedom to think, speak, and act however you choose. He went there for all of us, whether you loved or hated what he stood for. He went there to preserve the opportunity and privilege to believe, to be, and to become what we want.
Y'all better listen.
This country, every single person living inside of its borders and under the banner of its flag, owe that man. We owe that man everything. We owe him the respect that his sacrifice deserves. Saying thank you is not enough. We send our best and lose them in the fight against the worst evil this world has to offer. If you want to respect and honor their sacrifice, it needs to be more than words. You have to live it. Take a minute and look around. Soak it in. All of it. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
I think that's important too. Take a moment. Look around at everything that you've got. Everything that is in your life. Everything that's around you. Just imagine, had those men and women not stood up and selflessly gave their lives for our country. Imagine where we'd be today.
You have the choice every day as to which category you want to be in which direction you want to move. You have that choice because the best among us, the best we ever had to offer, fought and bled and died for it. Don't ever forget that.
So, like I said, I feel like this video is a really good representation of how a lot of us veterans view Memorial Day. And one of the biggest things is that it's not about your political view. It's not about your inclusion or what it is. whatever facet of life you feel like could be applicable, doesn't matter. Because the fact is if those men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice willingly had not done what they did, we wouldn't be here right now. We wouldn't be able to do the things that we can do today. Things would be different. And for those of you out there that want to talk about, oh, well, the U.S. is just a bull, because I've heard it before. People call the U.S. a bully, so on and so forth. I want to remind y'all, every time the U.S. has entered a conflict, it's because of something happening. It's a result of somebody else's actions. For example, Pearl Harbor, the attack on the Twin Towers and the Pentagon. People keep thinking that the U.S. goes to conflict over oil and resources and stuff, but it's not true. Were there some things that might have been skewed? Yeah, sure, there always is. There always is. Like the whole weapons of mass destruction, yeah, sure. But let me ask you a question. If somebody walked up to you and slapped you in the face, what would you do about it? Honestly. Would you just turn around and walk away? Or would you defend yourself? If somebody slapped your sister or your mother in the face, what would you do about it? You're just going to walk away? Just be like, I think not. Actions have repercussions. It is what it is. Look, like I said, I found this video. This one was on me. I hope that every veteran finds their peace this weekend and is able to be around people that they love, people that cares for them. And while we're still remembering those that we've lost, that we can still move forward. Y'all have a great Memorial Day weekend. I love y'all. And we'll see y'all in the next one. Y'all take care.